Alright, hello everybody. I know it's been quite a while since I uploaded, but frankly, I have nothing to upload, and I have a lot more fun uploading on Kiesel Hatches because I get to post memes, which is what I actually enjoy posting most of the time. So, as for this channel, which I guess I should give an update on, you can expect my machinima and some tier lists like this, and some gaming videos as well, because those are also just fun to do, and that's mostly what I'm focusing on right now, is just stuff that I want to do. I mean, aside from machinima, because those are hell to make, but the end result I like. So, yeah. Speaking of machinima, the next one should come out soon. I was planning on making it weekly, but I procrastinate too much. So I'll try. I'm trying my best. But it also doesn't really help when I get like no views on any of my videos. So yeah, I guess let's just get to the actual point of today's video, which is ranking the Eternals characters. So I recently saw Eternals, which was definitely way better than I was expecting it to be, judging on the opinion of the public. Everyone's treating this as the worst MCU movie when no, no, it's not, okay? I was going in also expecting a whole bunch of, like, wokeness, but there was, like, barely any of it, really, and not, like, it wasn't, like, shoved in your face like it was the main point of the movie. It was just there, which, I mean, that's totally fine, because they didn't make it the main point of the movie. It was just a side fact, but I'll get to that when I get to certain characters. So, yeah, I'll be ranking the characters. First is Ajax. So, the she goes in the bad tier, honestly. She is by far the worst of the Eternals, I'm pretty sure. There may be one that's worse than them. But she was pointed out. She was pointed out as the leader of the Eternals, and it's like she's by far the least interesting. Like she's barely, like, she dies in the first, like, was it like 40 minutes, and you barely even see her before that, and then you get a couple flashbacks, and that's it. And you're just supposed to buy into the fact that, oh, the Eternals are a family and they loved her, but they don't show that, like, at all, and it's basically just exposition. So it's like, who cares? And when she dies, you don't even barely know who she is, so you're like, who cares? The only thing interesting about her was her connection to Irishm and the Celestials in general. So she goes in the bad. I would put her in underutilized as fuck, but she's also just bad as well. So, speaking of Irishm, he was actually one of my favorites in the movie because he was actually somewhat interesting, being a Celestial and all. I kind of don't want to put him in there just because, like, he barely has any development. He's just kind of a being. But, like, I feel like in other movies when they go deeper into the Celestials, so maybe I'll move him down to great. But yeah, once they go deeper into the Celestials, he could very well move into the favorite tier. As for Dane, I would put him in underutilized, but I'm going to put him in decent just for the fact that he's related to Blade in a way, which is already interesting enough. So, yeah. But other than that, he was, like, barely in the movie. He was just a side character, so there wasn't really much to go off of. Okay, Druid. I don't know. Okay, so I did like Druid, okay? But he goes in the underutilized. Like, I liked him. He could have very well, like, out of the Eternals, he was probably one of my favorites, but it's just 'cause, with the fact that we barely even got to see him. He was barely in the movie. He was barely relevant to the final battle. Like, I know I said I really liked this movie, but, like, looking back on it, it has a lot of flaws. But I did like Druid, but I just wish that he was in the movie more. Gilgamesh is the exact same thing, but just to a lesser extent. Uh, I liked him, but he was just underutilized. The only thing that he had, like, that he did really was that, like, he was the one that could calm down Athena, but, like, and he cooked and shit. That was like, or I don't know if he cooked, something like that. That was like his only personality trait, and then he died. So, I mean, I get it's hard to focus on 10 main characters, but maybe don't have that. Maybe, like, they could have easily halved this group, honestly, and the movie would have been fine. Okay, Icarus. Icarus is definitely one of the better ones, but I still don't want to put him in favorites. I'm still going to put him in there. He was cool. Like, he was cool, and he actually did kind of have some development. Like, the whole thing of going against the Celestials, I liked, and Icarus was the main one, really, that they focused on with that. Him and Cersei. So, I mean, speaking of Cersei, she was pretty much the actual main character. I'll also put her in great. She was fine, but, like they didn't really do much with their characters. Like, I was more invested in the lore of the Celestials and the Eternals than I was the actual Eternals themselves. Like, a lot of the characters just fell flat. Cersei, I did like her personality, and same with Icarus, but they just barely, like, I don't really know, but. And also, they played it off as, like, they had a relationship, but, like, you barely even saw it on screen, so what's the point? Kingo is definitely a favorite. Sure, he didn't participate in the final battle. That's a fair criticism. But, him, along with, actually, the comic relief character, were actually, I think, the best characters in the movie, to be honest. They were the most interesting. Just because of the way they put themselves into human society, and then they had to choose whether to destroy Earth to, like, make more planets, basically. That was the main dilemma of the movie, but yeah, they were definitely the best ones. Yeah, it's just, what are they? Deviants. Just a deviant. He didn't really have much actual personality. Okay, Makari, I want to put her in underutilized, but I also want to put her in bad. Not because she's actually okay. I'll put her in underutilized because like, why? Like, she was by far the least developed. She was barely in the movie at all. Even for the final act, she barely even did anything. Her only real defining character trait was that she was deaf. But it's like, how are you even relevant to the movie? Like, she was away for, like, at least 2/3. Okay, Fastdos. Fastdos was the other one that I actually would put in the favorites category. So yeah, he was gay, but I liked it because that wasn't the main point of his character, was that he was gay. Like, he had more personality. Like, he was more likable because he went through a character arc of, not trusting the humans, or not trusting, but just kind of giving up on them with all the war, which I wish we would have seen more of. If anything, I wish we would have seen more of the flashback portions than the present day portions, because a lot of it was kind of just like, the movie just dragged on, but. And also him being the tech guy was also cool, and he just had an overall fun on-screen presence, which is the complete opposite of Sprite. So I would put her in bad, but I'm gonna put her in decent, just because of her arc at the end of wanting to become a human. I thought that was cool, with not having. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm putting her in bad. She was her arc with, like, wanting to be a human, which came in, like, really towards the end, unless I'm just forgetting. It kind of came out of nowhere. It was just at the end, if you ask me. And then she just betrayed the group to go with Icarus, because Icarus wanted to do Irishm's will. He wanted to do what Irishm wanted. And then she just goes with him because she loves him, and but throughout the entire rest of the movie, she's just an annoying little bitch. she wasn't likable at all. So, yeah. Okay, Athena. Athena was one of the better ones. I'll put her in great. You know what? Yeah, I'll put her in great because of her thing. Okay, it was kind of underutilized though. Like her entire thing with Gilgamesh about how he always had to save her because I forget what it was called, but like where she had the thing where she would like break personality and she would just like try and kill everyone. That was cool. Trying to keep her at bay. Uh, and she was actually relevant throughout pretty much the whole movie. Um, so yeah, and Eros goes into the favorite just because he's Thanos' brother, even though he just appeared in a post-credits scene at the end. I mean, he's Thanos' brother. That's cool as fuck. And as someone who doesn't read the comics, I have no clue what he's actually about. So I just hope he's actually cool. But just him being Thanos' brother is enough for me. And one thing I will bring up with this movie is, like, Matt Pat kind of talked about it. I watched his theory video before I watched the movie. Was basically where, because Thanos is part deviant, so basically Thanos, the reason why he half the population could be because Irishm, so the Earth would have got destroyed since there's a certain amount of people, there's a certain amount of life. That's enough for a celestial, I think it was. So then a new celestial would be born, and more planets would be born, but this Earth would be destroyed. So that was the whole dilemma of the movie. But basically, what if Thanos, the reason why he did the snap was because, you know, because, like, if half of the population was gone, then that would slow down Earth's, that would slow down Irishm's need to get rid of the planet. Sorry, I can't speak. But, I mean, they didn't, you would more just have to, retcon that in, if anything. They didn't mention that at all. But it could work, I guess. But, yeah, this is my ranking of the characters. So I did I guess I really liked about half of them, but the other half were either bad or extremely underutilized. Yeah, not much else that I want to say.